My co-host on the air today, Ramsey personality Ken Coleman, host of the Ken Coleman Show, where he talks about careers and jobs every day. And we're now up to 36 million unemployed, so you got something to do, my brother.
I'm telling you what, it is really, really important that people have an idea how to get clear, because it's going to be one of the most competitive job markets in our history, because those numbers are probably going to balloon past 40 million, Dave, as we see some May numbers will come out. And yet, at the same time, while those unemployment numbers are big, we're seeing the economy is thawing out, state after state opening up. Even the governor of California, who just a week ago was saying, we're shut down for 3 more months. Ready for this? Pro sports can begin activities in June. So I think you're now seeing a shift. The collective United States mentality is, all right, let's open up. And so hopefully that means jobs are going to come back in the service sector, in the retail sector. So people better get ready, Dave, because I think you're going to see those employment numbers begin to shift. We don't know how quickly. Nobody does. But I think better days are ahead.
There's definitely a check mark effect. I mean, because as businesses open up, it's real simple. They need employees. The problem is that for a free market guy like myself, I'm seeing the unintended consequence of the federal government, Democrats and Republicans signing the largest stimulus bill in history. And so guess what? The unemployed have no incentive to go back to work.
That's exactly right.
The furloughed have no incentive to go back to work. I mentioned this before. I was with a friend of mine this weekend that owns a restaurant, and he's having trouble staffing. He's reopened, but the people that used to work for him now make more sitting on their butts with unemployment plus $600 a week from the government. Until that runs out, he's going to have trouble getting back. And guess what? That's going to make it look like the unemployment is worse than it is.
That's right.
Because there's jobs available, and some of these people don't want to go back to work.
Well, you're looking at July 25th, folks. That is going to run out. And so you're really hedging your bets here that you've told your employer, you know what, I make more money staying at home than I do working, and they may replace you. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. And what's interesting, I saw some data yesterday.
I wish they would.
I would too, because I don't like it. I don't like it at all. When you're offered work, there is, and I get the math. But this isn't math. This is about
dignity.
The human spirit. All of us long to work.
I'm not on welfare if I don't need to be.
No, that's exactly right. Those funds should be going to other people that might be in a much different situation.
Or not running up the federal debt. Either one.
I'm with you there. I don't think, listen.
This is from Forbes. An unintended, unexpected consequence of the multi-trillion-dollar stimulus package is that workers are asking to be laid off.
Yeah.
Or reluctant asking to be laid off.
Right. Well, look at the minimum wage, $15
or reluctant
an hour.
to go back to work after being furloughed. In an effort to help people financially cope with their job losses in the midst of the pandemic, the federal government, which can screw up Christmas, is providing an extra $600 a week in unemployment benefits, and this amounts to this amount is in addition to what the states already pay, which is in the range of $200 to $300 a week. So a person could conceivably earn $1,000 a week on unemployment, $52,000 a year.
Yep.
Depending if they went for a whole year, that's the annualized, depending on the state he or she resides in. Situation facing companies that have already been financially hurt by consequences of COVID-19 outbreak, consider a worker at an Amazon warehouse. The worker has to be on their feet all day, lift heavy boxes on and off shelves, race around the facility, fulfill orders like work, earning a minimum wage of $15 per hour. By the way, that's not the minimum wage, that's their minimum wage. The person may make pre-tax $525 a week. Think of how many millions of other people work at dangerous, physically demanding, or unpleasant jobs earning a similar amount. Not to disparage anyone, but it's enticing for a person to be asked to be laid off so they can earn more money than they were making at work.
Let's look at the flip side. Tom Moran cited in the same article out of Michigan, small businessman. Because of these government unemployment payments, he is now paying $960 per week. That's $80 higher than what he pays his welders and $353 more than some of his average workers. So this government screwing up Christmas, they're hurting the small businessman and woman who we talk about all the time here.
Who's trying to recover from this.
They are the recovery. They are the backbone. So, these unemployment benefits sound really great until you realize Tom Moran is a guy who's creating jobs, and we are hurting small businesses. As opposed to what the
government does, creates nothing.
Yeah, so it's a real problem, and we need to get back to work.
It was done with the right intention, but anytime you just go bananas which they did. They just went bananas with this. There should have been some checks and balances on it. But, oh, no. We're going to buy your votes.
That's
Here
exactly
comes
right.
Pelosi and Trump. One thing they can agree on: run the nation another $2 trillion into debt, and let's put just almost nothing on this. Just turn it loose and shut the place down. Unbelievable. I mean, and so the dad blame. Yeah, if you can't find a job right now, it's you ain't looking.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's hiring and everybody's opening up, and they're desperate for you to come back to work.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting time. We don't have this problem at Ramsey Solutions because we don't have anyone. Number one, we didn't lay anybody off.
Right.
Number two, we're not hiring any positions that are below that. Well, they are below $52,000 a year. I do have some below that. I don't know if we're hiring them today, but hypothetically, someone would say, I don't want to start the new job at Ramsey until this runs out. In which case, I would not hire them.
Right. Well, again, this benefit is not infinity and beyond, folks. We're talking about July 25th.
I know, but
It's
that's 2 more
gone.
months.
Yeah, but the point is why mortgage your future on the immediate? I just don't like it. It's not good
because
thinking.
everybody thinks short term.
Well, I get it. Not us.
But for the next 4 weeks, I can cash out.
Oh,
and so
I understand the math.
So I don't want to. I don't want to go take the job that I got sitting in front of me. I mean, that hypothetically could happen here because we've opened our hiring back up.
Right.
We've started hiring again gradually, very gradually, very slowly, very carefully, wisely, not knee-jerk reaction and overdo something.
Right. Well, here's how that's going to backfire, Dave. Let's just run some numbers. The current numbers are 36.5 million people unemployed. Now watch this, folks. Let's just round that down to 30 million for just some simple math. In the coming weeks and months, let's say that 30 million people, on average, each person submits 5 resumes. I think that's really, really low based on the data. That's 150 million resumes flooding the marketplace. Let's put it up to 10. You're doing the math with me. That's 300 million resumes. I think it's closer to 20 and more, 600 million resumes. So if you're playing this July 25th, I'm going to stay home.
Is LinkedIn going to break?
I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, you could really hurt yourself if you've got an opportunity to go back to work and go back to work is my point.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my point.
The other people are going to get your job, and then when this runs out, they're not going to be. Oh, that's a good point.
I think that's where it backfires.
Yeah.
Get back to work.